So I always say the biggest issue that I've had throughout my whole life is really self-love and self-worth. And it's because as a child, my father was not able to give love to his own children because he didn't receive love from his own parents. And so he didn't have self-love for himself. And because he didn't have self-love for himself, he was not able to impart love to his children because you cannot give what you do not have. And so as a child, I thought that the reason why my father did not love me is because I wasn't worthy. I wasn't lovable, right? Because as a child, you don't recognize that he was just perpetuating a vicious cycle from his own parents. You think that you're not lovable because you're not worthy to be lovable. And so as a child, I had this energy and carrying this energy, which took me into my adult life. But as an adult, I recognized that it was really about my father. It wasn't really about me. So I sought to change myself. I sought to change my self-worth and self-love energy to have unconditional love for myself. So in my journey to really fix my self-worth issue, I turned to this book by Louise Hay, who is the guru of self-love. And she has really transformed my life and many people's lives. And this book, You Can Heal Your Life, is really amazing and powerful. And the core message of Louise Hay in this book is to say that if you have one thing, which is self-love, it will change everything in your life. It will change the abundance in money, abundance in relationships, abundance in health. Literally, she says, if you just have self-love for yourself, your entire life will change. And when I read this book, I agreed. I agreed that that was really the core issue for me, my siblings, and for many people I see out in the world is this one issue. And so over the years, I sought out different tools and techniques to train my mind and my energy field to have self-love. And so returning back to Louise Hay and her wisdom, she has this wonderful tool, which is the mirror work to have self-love for yourself, which I find very effective. So Louise Hay has this wonderful suggestion of doing the self-love mirror work in the mornings because that's when we brush our teeth or wash our face and we're in front of the mirror. So she suggests taking like 5 to 10 minutes during the morning and just to stand in front of the mirror and say positive affirmations that start to really make you feel like you're worthy and lovable. So, you stand in front of the mirror and you can do a favorite affirmation that Louise Hay has is to say, I love you. I love you. I love you. Or you can do other affirmations, something like, you are worthy beyond measure. You are worthy beyond measure. You are worthy beyond measure. And you can change the phrases to whatever you like to make you feel worthy, make you feel confident, so it doesn't have to be exactly those phrases. And the reason why having an actual mirror and looking into the mirror becomes so effective in really building our self-worth and self-love is because when we look into the mirror and look at ourselves, we tend to criticize ourselves, right? We tend to say, you're too fat, your hair isn't right, your eye isn't right, your nose isn't right. We tend to self-criticize ourselves by looking at the mirror, right? And so by looking into the mirror and looking at a reflection of ourselves, we now have to face our demons of self-criticism. And that's why having the mirror becomes so critical, is because we want to face our demons of self-criticism. So now you're saying, no, you are worthy. You're not too fat. No, you are lovable. You don't have an ugly nose, right? So that's why having the mirror becomes so critical. And the repetitive nature of these mantras and positive affirmations, by just continuing to repeat them, what we're doing is we're training our minds and our energy field, because as a child, when I carried this energy that I'm not worthy because my father didn't love me, I'm carrying that into my adult years. So I'm carrying this energy in every cell of my body since I was a child that I'm not worthy. So in order to reverse that programming, we have to repeat these positive mantras. So I always say to my husband, if you say to yourself 1,000,000 times that you are worthy and that you love yourself, it's not too much. If you say it 1,000,000 times a day, it's not too much, because we've had this energy of lack of self-worth for maybe 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. So in order to reverse that, we need this repetitive training. That's why you're repeating it over and over again. And so you can also practice this self-love throughout the day. You know, when you're at work and you're checking your hair and makeup during lunchtime, you have one of these compact mirrors. And while you're checking your makeup, you can say to yourself, I love you. I love you. You know, you can take 2 or 3 minutes to do that, and you don't have to say it out loud because you don't want your coworkers to think you're crazy, right? So you could just say it to yourself. So maybe you're gonna check your hair and makeup 2 or 3 times a day at work, and that's a great time to do it, you know? So you could be doing this self-love, positive affirmation throughout the whole day. And like I said, because the mirror allows you to confront your demons of self-criticism, having this mirror tool becomes very effective. And everybody has a mirror. It costs you no money, yet this tool is highly effective. So, you know, I've really been working on my own self-love issue for many, many years. And I'm telling you, this mirror work is very effective. And we thank Louise Hay's wisdom, advice, and suggestion. So if you are needing a tool for self-worth and self-love, do this mirror work. It is very effective, and be consistent about it. And if you have a story or a technique or a tool that you want to share with us about how we can have self-worth, then please leave your comments and feedback, because your suggestions really help me and my community at large. And if you want to visit all of my spiritual and holistic living tips, just go to my website at yinandyangliving.com. Love yourself.